Hi, my name's Sherry, and I am the founder of the nonprofit Pearl at the Mailbox. I am a human trafficking survivor and a big advocate for the safety and well being of children in America. I was groomed at the age of 15 by my high school boyfriend's father and then trafficked for 7 years. It took Once I was rescued by a woman named Pearl at a mailbox at the last location I was held at, thus the name of my nonprofit, in honor of this amazing woman. I just really floundered around for a good 20 years, just trying to figure out, first of all, what happened to me, and then coming to terms with it. And now finding my voice and saying, this cannot happen to another kid, not on my watch. I need to share. As uncomfortable as it is, I need to share what happened to me to hopefully prevent it from happening to another kid. So I, as mentioned, was groomed at the age of 15 by my high school boyfriend's father. And the father used his son, which I just give him the name Carl. That's not his real name, but that's the name I gave him, was Carl. And Carl was used by his father to befriend girls that were insecure, shy, kind of loners, and I fit into that category. But I need to tell you something. When the media talks about the risks of kids that are trafficked, and they always say foster care, runaways, you know the list. You hear it all the time on the media. Please don't be fooled that any child can't be groomed, because they can. And I need to share with you why. So I came from a two-parent professional home. Both of my parents were professionals. We had a very comfortable life. I was the middle of three girls, and there were no problems in the home, other than the normal teenage squabbles and stuff like that. We were a solid home. So, again, any child can be groomed. What made me a target was the fact that I just didn't know where my place was, being the middle. And I'm not saying that all middle kids are at risk for being groomed, but for me, I was struggling to figure out where I fit in the dynamic of my family. And at the age of 15, we all know and can remember our teenage years, and it's tough. It's tough. One problem was that I was on a dividing line of high schools, so I knew when my middle school years ended, I was going to be going over to a high school where I was going to lose pretty much all of my friends. And it took a long time for me to create or just have this small friend group structure that I did. And it was hard to know that I was going to lose that, and very scary. So, those were just some of the risk factors that made me stand out to Carl. And so, Carl would tell his dad everything that was going on in school, and obviously about the kids, the girls that were kind of in that category of insecure, and I fit in that category. So his job was to befriend me and come across as a boyfriend. And I'd never had a boyfriend before, so I didn't know what that was like. And so I assumed, and not having any brothers, I assumed that he liked me in that way because he was paying attention to me, and that was something that resonated with me, as it does a lot of young kids. They're all learning, you know, their sexuality, I guess, is coming out. They're growing up. They're becoming young adults, and so curiosity is there. So, long story short, over a 3 month period, my allegiance to my parents got shifted over to Carl's father, and I started to believe everything that Carl's father told me. He was a good man. He was very friendly to me and non-threatening. And so I wanted to go to parties and things that a lot of kids want to go to, and I did. And I share more about my entire grooming process in my book titled Pearl at the Mailbox. And you can find it on Amazon or Audible because it takes too long to share the whole story. But what happened was, from at the end of the third month, Carl's father went from a very friendly man to a very mean man, and I was being sold for sex at that point. Yes, I was at home. I was at home for up until my 18th birthday. I was at home. My dogs are here, so you will probably hear them bark at some point. Yep, there you go. Uh, I love my dogs. They're a good source of protection and a good source of comfort. So anyway, I ended up being trafficked for 7 years, rescued by a woman named Pearl at a mailbox at the last location I was at. During my 7 years of being trafficked, I had four pimps. That's what they were. They're traffickers. And what I'm wanting to get at is that this can happen to any kid. It can happen to any kid. And so I need to share how I was groomed, and I need to share what we can do about it as parents, grandparents, anybody that cares about kids, how to spot it. So over time, I'm going to be sharing some of that information with you. And hopefully, together, we can all do our part to protect our kids. No child ever thinks that this will happen to them. And then when they're in it, they're still unable to grasp what is happening to them. So it's very real. This is very real. It's happening all over the country. And we've just got to pay attention to it. And we've got to talk about it. So I do work on legislation in my home state and also at the federal level to try and protect kids. So what I would like to do right now, just to invite you to visit my web page, which is pearlatthemailbox.org. There's a lot of great information there so that you can get it and hopefully come alongside me and we can do this fight together. Thank you for listening and have a good day.